Greetings fellow Earthlings and welcome to this tiny garage. Welcome back everybody. For those of you just joining us, I bought this Porsche 911 pre-broken on Craigslist, and with all of your help I was able to completely rebuild the engine. And now last week finally we got it to pass emissions, which means it's finished, which means maybe we could do some of the fun stuff. Let's go. Since starting this project, I've been trying to make sure that I focus on the mechanical side of things, anything related to fixing the engine and making the car reliable and bulletproof, so to speak, and not getting carried away on some of the easier things that are, things you can paint or bolt on, or things that just make the car look faster. Now that the car is finished though, we can actually look at some of those more fun things. So many of you have expressed nothing short of hatred for the 19-inch black rims that came on this car that a previous owner decided looked cool. I personally don't mind the way they look. It's certainly a very modern kind of Los Angeles style. In America at least, we refer to it that way. Apparently in England, some of you guys said it looks like a Liverpool drug dealer car. So maybe, I don't know. What I am very interested in though is anything that could improve the handling and the ride quality. I've mentioned before how these 19-inch rims seem to be like riding on barrels, and if there's anything that can make that better, I would be interested. And from what I've read about these cars, they came with 17-inch rims and the stock upgrade was 18-inch rims. And from what I've read, the 18-inch rims really are the best combination of ride comfort and how cool they look and all that kind of good stuff. And so I found a good set of 18-inch rims on Craigslist that come with some really great tires, and so hopefully this will work out.
That magical mystery tour brought us to here, miscellaneous San Diego sprawl, and to the quick auto center, where the owner had dropped off the wheels so that we can swap them out easily and make sure everything works out. So feast your eyes, folks. The 0.3% of you that love them, say goodbye. So these ones are 235/35/19 in the front and 285/35/19 in the rear. Fairly gigantic. The new ones are 235/40/18 in the front and 265/35/18 in the rear. Here's some before and afters for you. I think it was worth it. What do you think? Then they had to find the one guy that could drive stick when he very carefully drove it out. I did a couple of other before and afters for you just so you guys can get a feel of what the dealio is. It did take a while. That gives you an idea of how long it took, because Quick Auto Center don't do tires. They just send them across the road to that discount tire to get new valves and get them all mounted and all that kind of good stuff. Black rims are pretty cool, but I think I really like the silver ones, folks. One thing to mention though, with a smaller diameter rim, one of the benefits you can get is a larger sidewall and a slightly more comfortable ride. And you'll notice here that while that 19-inch does look huge because it's slightly closer to the camera, there I've got about 3 inches, maybe 80 millimeters of sidewall, whereas on my new fancy tires, I've got 2.5 inches, maybe 65, 70 millimeters.
Well, my first impressions are an incredible difference. And so we do have to take into account here that I went with a much higher quality rim than the no-name sort of Porsche rim that I had on there. And then of course, much newer tires and really good tires there, the Michelin Super Sports, which depending on your preference are arguably the best tires you can get for a road car. And so it's interesting. It's very interesting having that immediate swap from those old tires to these tires, because the car, it feels daintier. Like you can feel like it's less big feeling, but at the same time much more confidence inspiring. Around the corners there's really just no squeal. It just grips. And also before it felt like the suspension maybe was like punching the ground, and it's not doing that. It's certainly as much now. And also around corners, certainly this rear wheel here would feel like it would maybe hop if you really pushed it, and that's not confidence inspiring. And if you watched the tail heavy episode, a lot of that is just not feeling confident in the car, and just that tire and rim change seems to have made a significant difference to my confidence in just how the car feels. Another thing too is bumps before might be ka-chunk, something like that. Now is more of a ka-chunk, so much more livable and much more confidence inspiring and quieter and way more awesome. I would certainly recommend it, and we'll see as time goes on how long these tires last and if it really is as good as it seems. But I would say 18-inch BBS rims with Michelin Super Sport tires is amazing. Okay, well that was really fun. I'm glad you guys forced me to do that. Driving along on those 19s and then swapping over to those 18s was very educational. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of the new rims. Obviously the color is a big difference, but what I learned today too is on these cars at least, perhaps more is not always more. Those 19-inch rims might look cool and modern, but it seems that this car is much happier on those 18-inch rims. Unfortunately though, that is all we have time for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Till next time.